Please welcome Children's Aid President and CEO, Phoebe Boyer.
Good evening, everyone. I want to thank you for being here in the midst of what is a very dark time in the world. Being in community with all of you is how we light up the darkness we are feeling. Creating safe spaces for children to heal and to grow is how we counter the very real suffering and pain we are seeing and experiencing. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for joining us this evening. Thank you. I also want to begin with a huge thank you to Donnie Mendez for that incredible performance. Donnie participated at Children's Aid's very first community school, IS 218 in Washington Heights. He started playing music at the age of 13, received a scholarship to Harlem School of the Arts, and has since toured the world with famous merengue and jazz musicians. Donnie, we are so honored to have you with us here tonight. Seeing the young people we serve living their dreams is simply inspiring, and it's not uncommon. We get to see it all the time. Earlier this year, I was in an advisory committee meeting for a landmark study on poverty reduction in early childhood. As people began introducing themselves around a Zoom, admittedly, I heard a voice utter my very favorite phrase: I'm a Children's Aid kid. Sitting right there among the researchers and the experts was Chanel Ramirez. Chanel became obsessed with brain science in our after-school program at PS5 at the age of 8. When she was in college, we hired her to work in that program, and the brain models she made with our young people are so amazing that they are actually still on display to this day. Now, Chanel is part of a team whose research is proving that increased income for mothers living in poverty improves brain development during a baby's first years. Her work has the power to unlock much-needed resources for families across the country. Now, come on, how amazing is that, right? This is what we mean when we talk about helping New York City's kids and families write the next chapter for themselves. This is what we mean when we talk about strengthening the future of our workforce and the fabric of our city. Each year, Children's Aid invests in 50,000 children, youth, and families, offering 100 programs in 40 different sites from Staten Island to the Bronx. As one of the largest providers of children's services for more than 170 years, our work isn't only comprehensive, it's integrated. We work to provide our families and our young people with hope from the very first point of contact. We show up at every critical moment of their lives, and we celebrate every success. Like the fact that 91% of our early childhood kiddos meet their school readiness goals, and 97% of youth in our targeted programs who apply to college get accepted. 97%. Yes. But we also know that most families need more than educational opportunities alone to break the cycle of poverty for good. Last year, Children's Aid provided 30,000 food packages, 50,000 medical, dental, and mental health appointments, and nearly $1 million in emergency relief for those facing financial and health crises. Yes. Now, none of this, and I mean none, would be possible without the extraordinary Children's Aid staff, some of whom are with us tonight. They literally work their tails off day and night, standing up for New York City's children and families. And tonight, I'd like to ask you to join me in standing up for them to show our gratitude. So please give them a round of applause. And go Children's Aid. Tonight, we are also proudly honoring Centerbridge Partners, a firm who represents transformative change here at Children's Aid. Like the relationships we have with our families, our partnership with Centerbridge is not one note. They come with trust in our expertise and leadership and a willingness to extend theirs. They have invested in everything, from helmets and bikes for kids to mental health for families and professional development for our staff. Centerbridge not only gave us a multi-year grant to streamline and improve our community schools, they buttressed that grant with more than $1 million worth of pro bono expertise from Bain, a world-class consulting firm. Yes, thank you. Centerbridge, though, doesn't care about getting the credit. They are committed to good citizenship. Like all of you, they want better outcomes, better endings for young people seeking opportunity. Young people like Donnie and Chanel and Demetria Mack, who many of you saw on this stage 5 years ago. Demetria is a former foster youth who graduated in May from Howard University, summa cum laude. And I agree, it's totally incredible, but there's a little bit more. Along with her diploma, she had a 6-figure job offer at Microsoft and a full ride scholarship for a master's in computer science at Columbia. Yes. This is what's possible when we come together on behalf of children and families. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for writing the next chapter of New York City with us. And now I'm going to invite Donnie back to the stage to share his incredible talents while you all enjoy dinner. And we will be back shortly to share more of what your investment in Children's Aid makes possible. Thank you.
Like many kids who grew up in East Harlem, I consider the Milbank Center my second home. I began attending programming there in high school, shortly after I entered foster care. That period of my life was challenging, but the people I met at the center changed the trajectory of my life. Through the Keystone Club, I gained leadership skills at a young age. Program Director Jenna Jones created a safe and a supportive environment as I completed my internship at Milbank. She pushed me to be a better version of myself and encouraged me to make positive choices that aligned with my personal goals and aspirations. I learned firsthand how important a nurturing environment and dedicated mentors are to a young person's development. That's why in 2019, I started my own nonprofit called Journey of a Dreamer, Inc. We serve youth ages 14 to 24 by providing after-school programming in New York City and Washington, D.C. They learn about the fundamentals of filmmaking, workplace etiquette, and community development. We're even partnered with Children's Aid Society to provide summer employment opportunities. Now I can mentor the next generation of young people and help them build the confidence and resilience I gained at Milbank. My name is Kanika Kazim. I'm the founder of Journey of a Dreamer, Inc., and I'm a Children's Aid kid.
The first time I jumped in the pool at the Dunleavy Milbank Community Center in Harlem, I thought I could swim in the deep end. The lifeguard who jumped in to rescue me disagreed. But over the course of several fun summers at Millbank, I eventually did learn how to swim. Swimming was just one of the many life skills I learned at Millbank. I learned other practical things like how to play basketball. More importantly, I learned life lessons, like the importance of listening, being patient, and being resilient. I learned how to be a leader. The ideas and values I was introduced to at Children's Aid led me to the career path I'm on now. I'm a graduate student at Hunter College pursuing a career in social work. At e- At every step of the way, Children's Aid staff at all levels, from coaches to vice presidents, have been there for me, and they have helped my story come full circle. As I work toward my degree, I'm also working as a community engagement manager for Community Health Centers for Children's Aid. I'm Joel Colon, and I'm a Children's Aid kid.
Children's Aid has been a part of my life for as long as I can remember. I attended PS5, a community school in Upper Manhattan, where I learned the fundamentals. In middle school, I spent my summers at Wagon Road Camp, where I learned how to swim, rode a horse for the first time, and listened to Vince Consigliani's jokes every morning. During my college years, the decision to work for Children's Aid was an absolute no-brainer. As I walked into PS5 to start my shifts as an after-school facilitator, I would often see a familiar face. Office manager, Sandra Ramirez, who has worked at Children's Aid PS5 for over 27 years, and who also happens to be my mom. Witnessing the growth of my students from the beginning of the school year to the end inspired me to go back to school and pursue a master's degree in neuroscience and education at Columbia University. While earning my degree, I explored my interests further as a research assistant for a study that explored how supplemental cash income can affect a child's executive function, language development, memory, and health. Next week, I am starting a new role at the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai, where I will be doing dementia research, primarily with Black and Latinx populations. My name is Chanel A. Ramirez. I am a clinical research coordinator at Mount Sinai within the Department of Neurology, and I am a Children's Aid kid.
Please welcome your hosts, Isis Troxler and Josiah Lee Johnson.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2023 Children's Aid Benefit. My name is Josiah Lee Johnson, and I'm a junior at Vanguard High School.
And I'm Isis Troxler, a junior at Bronx Career and College Preparatory High School, where I will be graduating 1 year early. We're excited to be here to represent all the young people who thrive because we have Children's Aid in our lives.
We're here tonight to honor a long-term supporter of Children's Aid. Since 2016, Centerbridge Partners has been a champion of Children's Aid's community schoolwork and so much more. The collaboration has been a model for effective nonprofit corporate partnership. ISIS, isn't Children's Aid, isn't Children's Aid, isn't your school a Children's Aid community school?
That's right. Bronx College and Career Prep is a community school, and Children's Aid is our lead partner organization, which means I have access to many opportunities that allow me to explore and find my passions. For me, one of those discoveries was the track. I think life is like the 200-meter dash. You start running, get your footing, just like growing up. Then you get to the curve, and the wind smacks you. The curve hit me in middle school. I don't know if it was jealousy or something else, but the kids saw that I had a close relationship with my mom, and I became a target of bullying. It was relentless. It got so bad, I had to sit at the teacher's desk in some of my classes. At lunch, I sat at the outcast table where nobody spoke. I couldn't read without somebody grabbing the book out of my hand just to be mean. I kept my grades up, but I was too depressed to do anything else. Fortunately, I have a supportive family, and they got me involved with Children's Aid, which helped me when I decided I wanted to be braver. Children's Aid celebrates the things I like about myself and gives me so many opportunities to develop and grow. Like an internship I did at Madison Square Garden, where I was inspired by one of their directors who is an African American woman. She doesn't just have a job, she has responsibilities. People have to get her approval. It was amazing to see someone just like me in such a high place. That experience made me want to go out and do more things. Now I speak and perform every chance I get. I'm a youth ambassador at Mayor Adams' office, one of the first and the youngest. For that, I go to conferences and out-of-state trips on behalf of New York City, and I've already lined up an internship at the United Nations after I graduate. You see, in the 200-meter dash, when you get out of the curve and onto the straightaway, you're not done. You have to keep working. But this time, the wind is with you, and that's how I feel now. My next chapter is college, and the one after that is a job with the CIA. You need both strength and an analytical mind to work in intelligence, and I have both. And also, I'm brave. Thank you.
Well, I have certainly learned a thing or two about bravery from you. Me, I've always been a big fan of storytelling, thanks to my dad, who's been reading to me since I was a baby. He even challenged me and my sister and I to read the entire dictionary once. I come from a family of folks who are advocates for Black empowerment, so I'm passionate about fighting oppression. I've always been a pretty creative person and outgoing person, and I've always been good at making friends. But I've also had my fair share of unkindness from friends, and I used to let those hurtful jokes slide. Turns out, they don't just slide, they can really mess with your head. It shouldn't be this way, but jokes about your appearance can really affect how you feel about yourself. I was someone who wanted to perform, but constant insults from so-called friends, mixed with taunts from others, took away my desire to be in front of people. I lost my motivation. I couldn't think of anything that I wanted to do with my life. So one day, I tagged along with a friend to Children's Aid after school at Hope Leadership Academy. And I loved it so much that I just kept going back. There, people like Courtney and Mia really got me. They helped me express my feelings and gave me the confidence to stand up to hurtful behavior. It literally blew my mind. It fueled my passion for performing. When I was too nervous to sing in front of others, they boosted my confidence. And when I set impossibly high standards for myself, they reminded me that comparing myself to others is not necessary. Even when I struggled with geometry, they had my back. And guess what? I turned around and helped others with it. Making a positive impact on people? Now that's a rush. Next on my agenda, college and then law school. I know it's gonna be tough, but hey, I started with heavy reading like the dictionary, and thanks to Children's Aid, I developed a real love for learning and growing. Thank you for supporting this work. Now please direct your attention to the video screens.
Some moments in our lives change everything. They can empower us, help us discover who we are and what we're made of. I remember the first moment I felt strong. When I overcame self-doubt and was this close to quitting. Asking myself, am I good enough? Smart enough? Deserving enough? Is it even worth the fight? Always.
We are the authors of our own stories.
And we came here
To be leaders.
Artists.
Friends.
A moment can define the rest of our lives, and here you get to have many.
What was your first moment that turned into everything?
Esteemed guests, please give a warm welcome to Children's Aid Executive Vice President Sandra Escamilla.
Hello. I'm so excited to be here this evening. And I want to say I'm a Children's Aid kid, but I'm not. I'm a Children's Aid staff. That means something, right? That means something. I mean, we are Children's Aid. And I'm excited to be here to celebrate all that is Children's Aid. Our incredible staff. If you're a Children's Aid staff, just raise your hand, please. All right. Including our fearless leader, Phoebe Boyer. Woohoo! Our incredible young people. I mean, come on, listen to these stories today. Fantastic. And our faithful, generous supporters. That's you all. I'm especially excited and honored to be here, to be able to bear witness and listen to the extraordinary stories of the young people. And these were just a few stories. And I liken their stories to the narrative of, the archetype narrative of the hero's journey. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's a really simple recipe. There's a hero and a journey, surprise, surprise. They're met with trials and tribulations, small bumps, big bumps, and they triumph, and then they come back home and they're transformed. Tonight, our heroes are Donnie, Chanel, Demetria, Anika, Joel, Josiah, Amaya, Emmanuel, and Isis. Let's give them a hand. And they, like many of the children, youth, and families we serve at Children's Aid, have been met with a lot of challenges that they've been able to overcome. And I believe it's because along the way, they met a bunch of people that were there for them. And we heard program directors like Janice and Courtney, and our legendary Kelsey Stevens, who's been with us for 50 years serving children, youth, and families. Yeah. Or the lifeguard that didn't let them sink to the bottom, right? Or the social workers and educators that allowed them to see themselves and to imagine a different ending to their story. And look at our heroes tonight. They have come home, and they are transformed by their will, their grit, determination, and straight up ganas, right? And they are writing and living the next chapter of their lives. They're musicians, clinical researchers, college recipients of scholarships, aspiring lawyers and social workers, and incredible, brave, phenomenal human beings who are more than good enough. And how lucky are we, all of us, how lucky are we to be able to contribute to their stories, their next chapters? And as we contribute to their stories, we're actually writing our own as well, about who we want to be in this incredible, crazy, painful, beautiful world, about what's important to us, about where we want to spend our time. It's not a coincidence that you're all here today. Absolutely not a coincidence. You could have been anywhere else, but you chose to be here today. And I believe it's because we all know that together we are crafting and our collective next chapters. And I've got to tell you, I can see it. Beautiful, phenomenal, powerful, transformational. We will be transformed tonight. I want you to turn to the person next to you and I want you to say, thank you for coming and helping us write the next chapter. Yay! Yes, thank you for coming and helping to write the next chapter. And before I introduce our next hero, I just wanted to give a shout out to some of the people that made tonight possible. Where's Caroline Gallagher, our Chief Development Officer? Woohoo! Right there. And her incredible team. And I've got to tell you, they made all of this happen, and Caroline just had elbow surgery. And so she's walking, I mean, talk about commitment, right? Talk about commitment. And also, where's Anthony Ramos and his team? Our VP of Marketing and Communication. Right back there, he's right back out there. He's made all of this happen. He was going crazy because I didn't bring a script. He's like, what are you gonna say? But he trusted. And now I have the pleasure of introducing you to yet another hero, Emmanuel. And Emmanuel, like the hero in A Hero's Journey, has the spirit and the strength and the courage of a hero. And when I spoke to him before he came today, he told me that he wasn't sure if he was going to speak. He was reluctant, as a matter of fact. But he decided to come, and he decided to speak because he understands the power of his voice, and he understands that his words matter and that his story needs to be told. And he also told me that he is writing a book about his life. So let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, consider yourselves super lucky because you get a sneak peek at some of the chapters. I present to you Emmanuel.
My childhood with my mom was the first of 4 major chapters in my life so far. We lived in Kingsbridge, and it was a nice community for the kids. I spent a lot of time at the library playing Minecraft with my friends. I was really creative, really. I drew a lot and danced and entertained the other kids at the parties. I was in the chess club and on the basketball team. My sister and I tried to be the best children we could be. We cleaned, we made food when we were hungry. We lied about our bruises to our teachers. Nothing we did was enough for my mom. Things just got worse and worse until late one night when I was 11 years old. We left. We took the 4 train to Fordham looking for a children's aid office that had helped us before. And we walked around until we found it. This was the start of my second chapter. As soon as I left, I knew I was not going back. I loved my mom and all, but I couldn't live with her. Actually, no kid should live with her. When you leave a toxic environment, it doesn't just fix things. When I entered the foster care system, I didn't have to be the best kid anymore, and I wasn't. I stayed out with kids my own age and went in a bad direction that gave people excuses to treat me badly. Those choices led me to my next chapter when Children's Aid placed me in Karen's Nation's home. The first thing Karen told me was, "You're going to college." You can probably guess that she was right at the time, but it seemed crazy at the time. Being in Karen's home changed me, but not immediately. I didn't just let go of the behaviors that weren't good for me. I didn't just stop being sad or blaming myself. I didn't see at first what Karen first saw in me, but she saw something. She's very patient. She let me grow out of the past and rethink my choices. You don't know what it's like to feel love the first time you get it. But slowly, I felt appreciated, and I learned to get used to it. I turned my life around. I stopped smoking. I started joining all the workshops Children's Aid offered, and they helped me do better in school. Gave me opportunities to learn new things and helped me apply for college. I lived with Karen for 6 years, and she helped me lead me to my current chapter where I'm a student at the Borough of Manhattan Community College studying computer programming. You see, I take school very seriously, and I never miss an opportunity to build my skills or network. That's why I'm here tonight. I'm also a mentor to young people who are on the same path I was on. I tell them to take the resources they get and the people who try to help and use them. It's not hard to imagine where I would be if I hadn't. There are plenty of children who don't ask for help or never see that help is being offered. Thanks to Children's Aid, I did. I'm very thrilled for my next chapter where I graduate and become independent. I know my plans will work because there is no way I'm going to get a degree and not use it. Whatever opportunities I get, I'll take. I'm optimistic about my future. Thank you.
Please give a warm welcome to Lucas Hunt.
Can we get one more round of applause for Emmanuel? Emmanuel, are you back there? Emmanuel, you come out one more time, man. Just want to give him this moment to look out and for you all. Can we get one more round of applause for Emmanuel? I have the pleasure of sitting with Emmanuel and having dinner together and talking, learning a bit about his story. And I feel like he is the perfect example of what a children's aid kid means. And I feel like Josiah said that to me. I was wondering, what's a defining characteristic of a children's aid kid? Josiah said it. He said, children's aid had my back, and I turned around and helped others. And that reminds me exactly of what Emmanuel wants to do with his life. His passion for caring for others, coming from a dark place, a place where he didn't get the care that he deserved. But thanks to Children's Aid, he's been able to unlock some limitless potential, and he has such faith in his future. He wants to study. He wants to stay in good shape. He's working on shadowboxing right now. He also likes sweets, if anyone can get access to desserts more quickly. But his vision of the future is just like Children's Aid's vision, helping others, giving back. And so here it is. This is why we are all here. And in the next 5 minutes, we're going to ask you to help out, to help support some of the 50,000 kids and families that Children's Aid supports every year. And to do that is so incredibly simple. In the middle of your table, there is a stack of paddles, for lack of a better word. We ask you to grab them, someone at the table who feels like a leader or just feels like shifting around, and hand them around. There's one with your name on it, and just pass it around. We're going to ask you to put your paddles in the air like you just don't care. But we know you care for Children's Aid. And once you get them, we're going to take a photo. And, these paddles are for pleasure, not for punishment tonight. So just go ahead and grab it and get ready. And also, folks, I'm going to make a little, am I on camera? Yeah. If you're at home, are there people at home? If you're at home, believe it or not, there's still people watching at home. Thank you for tuning in, Mom and Dad. Thank you for tuning in. You can participate in this moment and support Children's Aid's kids like you've seen tonight, talented individuals, and you'll have promptings on the screen. So just know that that's that, and we're in the room, and we're having fun, and we're cheering each other on. Do we have the paddles? Can we put them up for a picturesque moment? There's a cameraman person somewhere jumping up. Just put them all up in the air. If you like what you heard tonight, if you love your life, if you love being here, if you're feeling like ecstasy might be a philanthropic quality that you can participate in, and Malia's gonna get a little picture of that, and it looks great. Looks like we raised $1 billion. Okay. So, here's how we do it. This is called a reverse auction. We start at a high level, and we work our way down. And our goal in the next 5 minutes is for everybody to raise their paddle somewhere where it's meaningful, where you can make it happen for Children's Aid kids. Again, 50,000, and think of the impact you can make tonight just by raising your paddle. So here we go. We'll start at a high level and work our way down. Our top level of giving tonight is $50,000, and it can do so much good for so many children, and all you have to do is raise your paddle now, or your neighbor's paddle. 234, thank you very much. 316, thank you. 166, thank you. That's 150,000. 163, that's 200,000 for Children's Aid kids. Yes. Woo. Anyone else? Anyone else? It feels good to give, and it's only money. Anyone else at our top level of giving will go down, but I'll leave it out there one more moment because, again, think of the encouragement you're giving kids to unlock their potential and find that life that they're destined to have thanks to help from people in this room. Anyone else at 50,000 before we carry on? Can we get a big round of applause for those generous gifts? That was 4. 4. Okay. Our next level of giving is $25,000, and this can help with mental health sessions, counseling for children and families. One of the cores really at Children's Aid, physical health, mental health. How many of you can raise a hand here at 25? Let's go for it. 469, thank you. 449, thank you. 112, thank you. That's 275. Do we have one more? Do we have one more? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Anyone else want to raise at 25? That was so fast. Can we do one more and we can just savor it, clap, cheer, just to extend the moment of love and joy? Is there one more at 25? Doing great. You're all doing great. Have a drink. This will be over before you know it. I promise. But last chance, anyone at 25? All right, can we get a round of applause for those gifts? Thank you. $275,000 and on our way. Next level of giving is $15,000. This helps 3 families transition from temporary housing to permanent homes. Thank you, 471. Thank you, 473. A lot of love at table 1. Thank you very much. Who else at $15,000? Thank you, 233 at $15,000 for your generosity. That's 45. On top of the 270. There we are. 110. Thank you. 335,000. And counting. Anyone else at 15,000, or we'll carry on? Can we get a big round of applause for those gifts? Thank you. Okay, here we go. $10,000 supports a scholarship for a college student. How many hands, paddles here? Let's see a lot. 323, thank you. 131, thank you. 121, thank you. 285, is that up? Yes? No, okay. Just, it was in a median range. 381, thank you for gently denying me. My mistake, I'm an optimist. Anybody else here? That was 4. We got one right. Thank you, 305. That's 5, thank you. So we were at 335, and that's 50, that's 385. Anyone else at 10,000? This is very attainable level. Before we carry on, you want to put it up here at 385. Thank you, 322. Thank you, sir. Thank you, thank you. The drama, I love it. I love the last one up. Thank you. So there we are, 395. Anyone else want to raise at 10? Put us up over 400,000. If you do, all right, round of applause. We'll get there. Again, all these levels go for everything that you've heard tonight that Children's Aid does. However, $5,000, our next level, could support one child to go to summer camp for an experience at camp in Chautauqua. It also just does everything. How many paddles can we get here at 5? Let's keep going. Get through. Thank you. 475, 142, 241, 164, 298, thank you. 171, thank you. 283, thank you. 350, thank you. In the back, 408, we're seating you up front next year for that. 366, thank you. Anyone else at 5,000? That was 8. Oh, yeah. 280, thank you. And that is 292 up front. That's another 50,000 on top of where were we? Well, we were at 395, and now we're at 445. Does that sound right? Anybody else at 5,000? Okay, can we get a round of applause for that? That's beautiful, thank you. Let's raise $500,000. Let's go fast and furious. Next level is $2,500, supports one student in a 6-week youth leadership conference. How many can we get? 2.5. 384, thank you. 237, thank you. Still up front. 382, thank you. 445, thank you. 438, thank you. 266, a lot of love back here, thank you. 227, thank you. 361, thank you. 363, 124, thank you all, pardon me. 158, thank you very much. Anybody else at 2.5? Yes? Table 1. 474, thank you, sir. Anybody else at 2? Oh yeah, keep it going. 405, yes, keep it alive. 405. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That was 11 gifts of 2,500. Math is getting hard. It is. 25. We were at like, yeah, we were at 4 and change. I think we're at like 460. We're going to raise $500,000. Next level of giving, $1,000 supports a day trip for 10 kids in foster care. Let's get them up. Let's do it right now. 294, 289, thank you. 443, thank you. 447, thank you. 442, oh my goodness. 169, I'm going to come around. All right, 275. 278, overwhelming love, thank you. 178, 353, 355, 268. These are all $1,000. 274, 216, 213, 397, 396, thank you. 114, thank you. 119, thank you so much, love. 116, thank you. 407, thank you. 409, thank you. 424, a lot of love. 430, thank you, sir. Very dapper. James Bond is right here. 375, he's smooth. 360, thank you. 433, 326, I'm supposed to go a little slower. 331, 328, thank you. 225, this is a record. 126, 130. 129, 187, 225, 464. You like that one? You like that number? All right, 453. You all have been waiting. Thank you patiently. 490, 481, 416, 372. Keep going. We are 236, 242, 151, 386. 492, thank you for your patience. 148, 147, sir. 144, thank you. And 293 at $1,000. So many gifts of 1,000, my goodness. We're right around $500,000, and it's amazing. It's amazing. Malia's going to tell me how many levels to actually call out, but I'm going to call out $500. This may be our last level, so if you didn't get a chance to raise, what was that sigh? Oh, oh, good. Yeah, for the baby. 500 if you didn't get it. This would be your level. Put them up now. 335, thank you. 372 for the baby. 324, not for the baby. To help support. 454, 452, 456, 451, 457, 458, 462. 465. They're going to create AI that takes my job someday. That was what you're thinking, right? It's like, he's finished. 329, 332, 376. These are all $500 gifts. Thank you. 378, 374, 436. Coming back. 437. Thank you back here. 412. Coming back. 410. 200. Thank you. 425. Thank you. 256. Thank you, 256. 336, my table. Thank you. 414. Thank you. 269. 356. 354. Thank you. 357. Thank you. 277. Thank you. 175. Wow. 248. Thank you. 244. This whole table. What you drinking? 128. 182, thank you. 188, thank you. 186, thank you. 190 at $500. 239, yeah, clap us out. 302, 286, 287, and now we're having it. 288, thank you. A lot of love. Anybody else at 500? All right, here's the deal. We could put this to a vote, but we could call out a $250 level. We could call out a $100 level, or you could just fill out your cards. What do you reckon? You want to raise or fill out the card? Someone wants to raise? $250. All right. Wait, if you say yes, you have to raise. Oh, you already raised. Okay, you can raise again. We want to recognize every single one of you for what you've done, but we also want to spare you if the time. So if you want to raise it $250, do it quickly. Otherwise, we'll just, okay, there's one. 272, thank you. Oh, way in the back. All right. It's happening. It's fair. 488, This will be it. 385. We want every amount counts. It all adds up. 368. 402. 403. Yeah, I would have really upset you all, right? 429. Thank you. This matters. This is like $25,000. It all adds up. 435, but it's 250. 428. 419. Thank you, sir. 418. 421. 253. Thank you. 345. Thank you. All right. Anyone else at 250? That's gonna be it. 218. Hello. Got you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Can we get one more? 295. Thank you. That's so overwhelmingly positive. Way over $500,000. Can we get a round of applause for all of you? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. If you didn't get a chance to give, you can fill out the back of the paddles. You can click on the link that you've been texted. And if you're watching at home, this is a point, you can text 2023 CA benefit to 243-725. If you're watching at home, and that should be on your screen. But on behalf of everyone at Children's Aid, we thank you. Please welcome back to the stage Isis and Josiah.
Wow, everyone. Oh my goodness. I'm like watching on the sides. I'm like, damn, I'm broke. Thank all of you for your incredible generosity. We now have the honor of recognizing the exceptionally generous sponsors of tonight's event. By supporting Children's Aid, these people and companies are shaping the future of New York City.
First, our ambassador sponsor, Coleman Family Ventures. Thank you for stepping up in such an extraordinary way.
A special thank you to our champion sponsor, Mark Galogli and Lee Strickler. Your generosity is much appreciated.
And our hero sponsors, Leslie and Ashish Bhutani, Beth and Ira Leventhal, Lynn and Rick McNabb, Salt Flats, Melkus Family Foundation, Jill and Brian Olson, Lauren Razuk Roth and John Roth, Amy and Charlie Scharf, Suzanne Waltman and Martin Friedman. A big thank you to our superhero sponsors.
And finally, our mentor sponsors, Sheila Barrett and Yasmin Monk, Bank of America, Jackie Barth and Jay Neidick, Bayer Pharmaceuticals, Bell Brands USA, Susan and Frank Brown, Lisa and Mark Edmiston, Becky and Mike Goss,
Greg Curran and David Vaucher, Kathy and Christopher Lawrence, Siri and Bob Marshall, PepsiCo, Erin Rosenfeld and Jack Dunn, Pascaline, Servan Schreiber, and Kevin Ryan, Visa, Jennifer and Peter Wallace, and let's give a big round of applause to all our lead sponsors.
On a serious note though, guys, we are honored to recognize Centerbridge Partners tonight. Beyond being a corporate funder, Centerbridge embodies the essence of true leadership. They have rolled up their sleeves and delved into the heart of Children's Aid's mission, enabling them to more fully comprehend the challenge and celebrate the victories and communities.
The evolution of Children's Aid Community School's work has been transformed, elevated, and fortified because of Centerbridge. Isis and I stand here as testimonies to their dedication. Today, we honor a partnership that is not just about financial aid, but also about shared dreams, mutual understanding, and the promise of a better tomorrow.
We are pleased to present this evening's honoree, Centerbridge Partners. Representing Centerbridge, please welcome co-founder and managing principal, Jeffrey Arnson.
I want to hire her. I mean, both of them. Rock stars or what? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It is great to be here tonight. You probably noticed my fashion statement. Okay. I think everyone has one. You can't get these at Tiffany's. Okay? These are so rare. And what I would ask everyone here tonight, take this pen. I'm going to do this tomorrow. I'm going to bring it to my office. Everyone is going to ask me, what's that pen about? And I'm going to tell them what I did tonight. And I would encourage all of you to do the same. Spread the word, because this is such a terrific organization, terrific cause. So I would ask you to do that. So thank you, Children's Aid, and Phoebe, thank you for having us here tonight, and we're so pleased to be honored. As business leaders, we are unbelievably fortunate. We're so lucky to be in a position to give back. And we feel strongly, and I have a number of my colleagues here tonight, and I know they feel identically, it's our responsibility, because we're fortunate, to partner with the communities where we live and where we work. And this has really been ingrained in our culture since we started our firm back in 2005. So at Phoebe's urging / insistence, we're here tonight, I'm here tonight to share some of our thoughts about our partnership and what it means to us. So we gave our first grant to Children's Aid back in 2016. And that was actually in honor of a person who worked at Centerbridge. This person was a Children's Aid alumnus. And this individual volunteered at Children's Aid because he wanted to give back to the organization that helped him build the next chapter of his life. And we, in turn, were delighted to give a donation in recognition of his service. Our philosophy as a firm about philanthropy is multifaceted, but it's really to provide capital and strategic support to help strong nonprofits like Children's Aid to become even stronger. The Centerbridge Partnership Grant is a multi-year commitment of funding paired with incredible strategic support from a world-class consulting firm, Bain & Company. And we have found over many years that this structure, and this is the exact structure that we use with Children's Aid, allows leaders in the social sector to really deepen their impact and critically better support young people. When we work with organizations, one of our key priorities, you won't be surprised, is investing in strong leaders. And we have so many strong leaders here tonight, from the young people who are on this stage to, of course, Phoebe. We're looking for strong leaders who listen, who take recommendations, and who actually implement change. They make stuff happen. It won't come as a surprise to anyone in this room that Phoebe Boyer immediately stood out as such a leader. This is important. This is an important point, not just at Children's Aid, but setting an example for others in New York City. In working with Children's Aid, we quickly learned, we learned a lot, but one of the things we learned, they are committed to the whole child. And that vision for student success includes filling gaps for families, whether gaps in time or transportation, childcare, and other items. It was so clear to us, it was so clear to my colleagues, that our values were 100% aligned. Their vision, Children's Aid vision, also led to a further focus on their community school strategy, working deeply in communities where they can make a real difference, and then building a community school model that they could roll out in the rest of the country for others to use as well. I can also tell you that Children's Aid not only helps children, but they helped us during COVID, and I have vivid recollections of this. We learned so much from our partners at Children's Aid, whether from understanding the mental health needs of families and staff, to teaching us what schools and families needed most, and we followed their lead to a T. So again, I'm honored to be here tonight to share our experience with you. We hope that by investing our time, talent, and resources together, we will see more Children's Aid alumni living the lives they deserve right here in New York City and beyond. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Centerbridge Partners, for being more than supporters. Thank you for being partners in shaping the future where every child can succeed and thrive.
Now please welcome Children's Aid Board Chair Jill Olson.
Oh my goodness. I can't wait to be back here in like 10 years when the two of them stand up at one of the tables and tell us how their story unfolds. And when they were introducing me, we were told, you know, you'll shake hands. And I said, well, could we hug instead? Because I feel strange shaking hands. And they said, should we do a practice hug? Oh, great. I mean, just living life out loud. It's so great. I really want to thank you all for being here tonight. I'd like to especially thank our benefit committee who worked so hard for months to put this together. Thanks again to our generous sponsors. And before we close out the evening, I want to introduce you to the voice of someone you've been hearing. She's 14 years old. She's a sophomore at Baruch College Campus High School, and she's a member of our Hope Leadership Academy in Harlem. Please welcome Umaya Santana.
Thank you, Jill, and good evening, everyone. So, I've been a loudmouth since I was born, and it hasn't always been a good thing. I yelled at my teachers when they were trying to teach me. I yelled at my classmates. I got in trouble a lot. I was slacking, wasting my brain, not motivated to do anything. My mom put me in Children's Aid, and that changed everything. The staff don't come to you and tell you the wrong things that you're doing to screw up your life. They come to you with the belief that you can do better. Ms. Sapp wrote a poem called Black Excellence, in which she asked me to perform it at a women's event. This poem spoke to me about the accomplishments and the responsibilities our ancestors believed we could. I stepped into that poem. Thank you, ancestors, for what you saw in me a long time ago. Excellence was worth fighting for. Excellence is what you see in me. I am beautiful. I am kind. I am brilliant. People were moved by it. I felt like I've given a voice to my peers. That's one way Children's Aid motivated me. The staff taught me to challenge instead of yell. For example, I made a case to my principal that the girls should be on the boys' soccer team as there wasn't no girls' soccer team, and I won. All this makes me think about is being a criminal justice lawyer. It's wicked how the criminal justice system in this society works. I want to help people get out the cycle that traps them. Everyone deserves a second chance. But the truth is, and to be real with you, I don't know what the next chapter of my life will be. I want to leave New York and experience new things. There's so many possibilities I never knew existed. But with Children's Aid by my side, there's so many chapters to be written. Thank you.
Thank you again, Amaya. That was great. And let's give another big round of applause to Josiah, Isis. Do we have Emmanuel as well? There he is. Thank you all. You really are our heroes. So thank you. And tonight, I have the pleasure of announcing that as a result of your generosity, we have so far raised $1,973,819. We are numbers people. We know what's happening, and we're still counting. So I'm sure that number is going to be higher. We really appreciate all of you coming here to support Children's Aid. Thank you. Have a great night, and we'll see you next year.
I want to play this for you different than you ever heard before. Grew up in a town that was famous as a place